breaking down the walls. We're breaking free. Yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression. It's out for liberty. Breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts. We're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty. Breaking free, yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting louder, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty. Breaking free, yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. We're claiming our land, yeah.
I hate this show. Oh my goodness.
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. I always forget that I put that tub thing in the intro, and it always makes me laugh. I always forget. I'm like, what was that? Like, I'm doing something else, and all of a sudden I hear Tub yelling. Like, oh yeah, I forgot to put that in the intro. So, all right. So welcome everybody to Are You Smarter Than a Politician? So tonight we are talking about freedom on all fronts, ending wars, ending waste, from the battlefield from the battlefields abroad to the war on drugs at home, from the war on your wallet to the war on your rights. Tonight's showdown asks the questions: who's ready to call a truce with the American people and put liberty first? Our three notable political contenders are stepping into the ring armed with big ideas and bold opinions. They'll weigh in on war, wallets, weapons, and rights, with your scoring deciding who walks away victorious. The questions are sharp, the stakes are high, and the answers just might surprise you. So get ready, because tonight you decide, are you smarter than a politician? So let's see here. Joining us is David Fite, first-time contestant. How are you tonight, David?
I am doing great. I'm David. I'm the president of Free Speech Media and the host of Fight for Liberty and Fight Club. We do quite a few different things on the network. I'm also a dad of two, and this one decided that he wants to come watch the show. I don't know if I get extra points for bringing in more audience members, but
you for sure will get points for cute audience members.
Father of two, husband, and entrepreneur. Just excited to have fun.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this. Hi, buddy. All right. I forget that they're cute at some point. Mine are by far not cute anymore. So also joining us, a returning contestant, Kyle Davis. How are you tonight, Kyle? Are you muted?
You're muted.
I can't hear you. Kyle, we can't hear you.
You're muted. Slacker.
This is why you
I
actually
am
show
so
up
not muted
on time.
Epic
Now you're muted.
fail. Everybody's
Now
got
you're
to be taking some points.
Kyle, how are you?
Good enough. I did my best to be late, but I'm here.
You're late. You're late. You're muted. You're just trying to.
I apparently, when I moved
all.
my mic a second ago, because like I was talking to you guys earlier, apparently when I pulled my mic forward, I hit the mute button on the side of it. So downside of a touch button, mute button.
That's why I have the multicolor one. When mine turns just red, that means I hit the mute button. So it's got like a Fisher Price signal on it for me to know that I screwed up.
Me too. It's a Shure MV7 Plus, but it's tilted away from me. because I don't want to see that light the majority of the time that I'm using it. So
I get a
so,
lot of
my
compliments on mine.
mistake.
So promote yourself. Tell us what you're up to.
Sure. As I usually make the claim, I'm a recovering aerospace engineer who has started to work with the LP significantly more, the Libertarian Party significantly more, and the organization I'm probably closest with right now is the the LP Alliance, and I'm actually like the vice chair of the spending committee for that group. And it's a group, it's an intercaucus coalition that's trying to reset the Libertarian Party and move things forward again. So I should get negative 500 dipshit points. That's absolutely correct, Chris. I would do the same if they counted my own points against me.
No, we love what you're doing at LPA, and so everybody check out LPA. I'm sure it's in the chat here or something. So great. And then, as always, or not always, but a lot of times, joining us is Kaecey Rasmussen. Welcome back, Kaecey. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. It's nice to not have a microphone that should be thrown on a WNBA court, but it's doing really well. And I really enjoy this. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Does this count as saying hello to you, or are you still pissed about that? Is it too late that I didn't do it 5 minutes ago and I was trying to load my stuff?
Oh, when you ignored Terry and I? Sure. Something like that.
I said hi. I just probably mumbled it. There was no extensive greeting. Like, it didn't go through any sort of ceremonial ritual about the greeting or whatever. But all right, you could take points for that if you want. We are on YouTube and we are on Rumble. And let's see here. Please share this out. It's getting off to a little bit of a slow start, even though we're on our regular Friday nights. And
it's because I'm here.
Yeah. Well, you got off to a real slow start. In fact, like a late start. But,
I was here on time. It was close enough.
All right. So just one additional item here, if I can find it. Here we go. So sponsoring tonight's show is Zano. So if you're tired of surveillance coins dressed up as freedom tech, Zano is the real deal. Open source, enterprise grade privacy, scalable and secure. Build, spend, and tokenize any asset without the peeping eyes. Zano isn't just private, it's none of their business. And if you're new to this space, visit intro.zano.org to learn how Zano gives you the power to own your own data, your money, and your assets, and all in one simple, secure platform built for real world freedom. So like I said, that website is intro.zano.org, and we appreciate them sponsoring the show. They're not only a sponsor, but I actually use them, and I really enjoy it. So we really appreciate them. So thank you to Zano. Any of you guys using Zano yet? Zano?
I'm not, but with that great pitch, I might be.
There we go.
There you go.
Anybody, if you're in the chat and you're using Zano, give us a heads up on that too. I really like it. I actually I gave my son his graduation present in Zano too. So we've been doing it together and checking it out. So been a little bit more fun than giving him some fraudulent fiat dollars. So all right. And then Terry's with us. So I wanted to wait at least 20 minutes before saying hello to Terry. So I'm going to do it now. Hello, Terry. How are you tonight?
I'm not speaking to you. No. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Hi, chat.
I know I give the impression that I'm the only one here, but there's actually a lot more than just me. So you can just talk to them if you want.
I would much rather talk to them.
That's also an option.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all options. So,
well, the chat's my favorite anyway. So there you go.
Yeah.
You guys have fun.
All right. And you can follow me and Terry at these addresses, Freedom for Us for All. And Terry is Bats T76. That's Bats T76. So, and then Terry will be back in the chat, handling the chat and handling the scoring. So let me tell you how this all works. If you were to win tonight, you would get the Ron Paul holding the Ron Paul trophy, the Ron Paul and Murray Rothbard bobbleheads, Mike Johnson's signature cologne Swamp Ass, as well as the Ayn Rand Fountainhead teddy bear. And as always, there is the Lego Killdozer, because nobody talks about the Killdozer more than me and Kaecey do. So that is also an option. You still building that, Kaecey? I haven't seen an update on that.
I have not expanded on it since I got back
That's
from Florida.
weak.
but
That's weak.
I still need to finish it.
Chat, you know what to do about an incomplete on the Killdozer. I mean, that's like almost like a cardinal sin right there.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
let me see. Let's see. The rules are I am the government. Whatever I say goes. Scoring errors count. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. Nobody cares. You can debate each other. You can veto an answer. You can tariff each other. You can redistribute someone else's answer. And you start off with negative 500 points because the government gets paid first. Here's how scoring works. The chat controls the score. The chat can give or take away up to 100 points from contestants. So it's a lot of fun. And that's what Terry will be doing. And before we get started in the lightning round, let's jump into the chat and see who's here. Shirley across the pond joining us in the middle of the night. Thank you, Shirley. Chris is here. Oh, happy free day. There you go. That's nice. I like that. Rose, welcome from Illinois, my old home state. Hey, Chris, welcome. Make sure you're following Chris, the Freedom Coach. He does great spaces. Oh, see, here we go. David already got some dad points. 500 dad points from another dad, Chris. Kilburn's here and reposted the stream. Thanks, Kilburn. Minus 500 points. That was a thing. I missed that was actually a thing. I didn't see that pop up. So TK's here. Hey, can we get some likes up in here? Smash that like button. Do it now. Thank you. Yeah, TK's on YouTube where some of the people are. Oh, Amity's over on YouTube too. So awesome. Welcome, Amity. She was on a couple weeks ago, did an awesome job. And minus 500 to the government. That's fair. I'll allow that. All right. So, all right. I'm going to put Terry back in the back, make her life hard, give and take away lots of points so she gets a little frazzled back there. She likes an entertaining Friday. So, and all right. Lightning round. Let me get you in the order I had you in here. And then, all right. Kaecey, to you. Category is foreign wars. Should foreign aid be tied to a balanced U.S. budget?
We shouldn't have foreign aid. So no, it shouldn't be tied to a balanced U.S. budget. We should not have foreign aid. And so we should not be doing that. If we want to be doing it, fine, I could understand it. But in my opinion, we shouldn't have foreign aid.
But particularly, we shouldn't be doing it if we're $37 trillion in debt. The budget's not balanced, and there's deficit spending and all those great things.
Thanks, government.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Kyle, to you. Should America's military bases overseas be closed?
I think the majority of America's military bases here in the United States should be closed. The country was founded on the idea that there's no standing army, and I think that the continued usage of standing armies around the world is a giant problem. Obviously, while everyone else has one, the United States has to protect itself. But in the world we're all fighting for, there shouldn't be military bases. It should be something where you have reserve soldiers and depots to hold weapons and armor.
Yeah, I love the justification of, they're attacking our military bases, or they're going to attack our military bases. I'm like, I'm from Chicago. When my neighborhood got a little shooty, I moved. Like if they're gonna, go after you, just, how about we just close it and then take the target away? But I don't know.
It's also like really easy to make the comment that I'm being attacked when you have encircled something entirely and they try to leave in any direction. I'm being attacked.
Or you can acquire property in some other country and you decide it's yours. How did you get that?
Where, Iraq is like the military base is like around it. There's like mountains and then all of our military bases.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, David, your first question is, should NATO allies pay the full cost of U.S. military protection?
Yes. If we're going to be the biggest and the best at something and give out our services to the rest of the world, we should be charging a fair price. And especially, as mentioned earlier, with the deficit, $37 trillion, we might actually make some of that back fairly quickly if we charged real numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Great answer. Back to you, Kaecey. Should the U.S. stop arming foreign governments entirely?
Yeah, we need to keep our nose out of other countries' businesses. And the big and this is not the Jew hating that goes around on the internet, but we don't need to be defending Israel. They are more than capable of defending their own land and protecting themselves. We don't need to be involved in it. And so when we make these type of relationships, then we get sucked into their divisive wars.
What about American companies selling to their governments?
As long as it's not going through our government for our government to be reaping the benefits from it, I don't care if companies are doing global interactions or sales. Not at all.
Yeah, I think it's been interesting this week with the, seeing how the tariffs work. And it's like, if you buy an F-35, your tariffs go down. And if you support Palestine, your tariffs go up. So it's like, I think we saw a little bit behind the curtain this week on those. There's a little bit more transparent than they usually are on accident.
Yep. Big
Kyle, to you. Should citizens have a direct vote before the U.S. enters any conflict?
I would think that the U.S. should only enter a conflict if the U.S. is attacked. And if you want to go fight in someone else's conflict, you're welcome to. And so I think that it's a little bit of a disingenuous question because it shouldn't happen in the first place. If the United States is going to attack someone else, somewhere else in the world, it should not be the United States doing it. It should be people from the U.S. who have volunteered to do it.
Absolutely. All right, David, back to you. Should drone strikes be banned without congressional approval?
That one's a tough one because honestly, I'm all for what it was supposed to be, which is, protecting our servicemen and women and, saving at least half of the lives in combat. I am a fan of that, but I don't like the road that it's taken. I don't like how inconsistent it's been. And I would say maybe temporarily until they can figure that shit out. If they can make it to a way where it's not 98% of the people getting killed in these drone strikes are civilians, then maybe we can do it again. But until then, let's pump the brakes.
Absolutely. Let me jump in the chat. I saw a funny one I got to put up. So, one, this is very nice. TK says, if nothing else, you got to hit that like button just for Terry's smile. I would throw in Terry's smile and Terry's laugh. She got the best of both of those on the internet, in my humble opinion. And then I was wondering if this was from when you walked away, but you got 100 for your background, David. I think that was when you were vacated. But then Kyle got 100 as well for his background. So Scientific is doing his interior design critique part of the show tonight. So he's going to be on in like a week or so too. So we'll have him back on. Amity says 100 to Kaecey, no foreign aid. And 500 to Terry, girl power. There you go.
What happened to Kyle's girl power?
Amanda's not
they
with
just
us.
She's always with us.
She's
always watching.
It's like wrestling. Like all of a sudden you hear like some operatic singer, like, "Oh no, she's here!" Like the curtain opens, smoke comes out.
I think Phantom starts playing. She comes on with a half face mask. Is how this works.
She does like a cartwheel and some acrobatics and yoga type looking stuff or whatever. I don't know. All right, yeah, that's a good warning to all of you. She is with us. So, OB says she agrees Terry's the best. Welcome, OB. Check out OB's website. She just added a bunch of cool stuff to her website too. So get some original art from OB. So all right, back to Kaecey. Should the U.S. military only defend U.S. territory and waters?
U.S. territory and waters?
Like our waters. Like
if the waters are within
the Gulf of Leonard Skinner,
question's really weird because that is the way the government would phrase it. We need to protect our waters, and so we're going to expand it out. No, the border is what our federal government should be protected. So anything that is within our borders and our U.S. territories, if you wanted to say it that way, then anything within those, yes, but it is technically international waters as soon as you hit the water in the ocean. So it does not expand from that.
I think
So-
it's 3 miles, isn't it? Or am I thinking of 8 Mile? I forget what I'm thinking of here.
It's not as soon as you hit the water. There's a distance. I don't know what
There's
it is.
probably some distance like that. I'm sure.
I think it's 3 miles. I have to look at the paperwork from the boat accident where I lost my guns and drugs. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Let's
all
ask ChatGPT.
There we go. While you're doing that, let's see what
Apparently,
Kyle
it's
says here.
12 nautical miles.
I don't know
12?
what a nautical mile is.
That's what
me to it.
U.S. maritime limits and boundaries say. So
Yeah.
Okay.
8 Mile, that's, I think, M&M is what I was thinking of there.
8 miles an island.
All right. Kyle, to you. Should Congress be barred from funding wars with debt?
Yes.
I mean, that one depends on what you mean by funding wars, right? So if you look at how taxes started, the United States was still under attack. We still had war debts. And so they were debts to become a country in the first place. So if we are actively under attack and we go into debt to make sure that, we're not overtaken, then what else are you going to do there? However, overwhelmingly, and in the situation where we have a military that's the same size as the next 9 countries combined, no,
20 combined, I believe.
it's gone up because of China and Russia's expansions for the war with Ukraine. As far as spending goes specifically, it's an absurdity. We should not be spending money on war basically ever. By war, we should only be defending ourselves if we are actively attacked.
Excellent. All right. David, to you.
Yes, sir.
Should the U.S. exit all military alliances after a set period?
I don't know about exit all military alliances. I feel like alliances in and of themselves are not necessarily the problem. It's when the alliances are under false pretenses or with countries that don't intend to hold their end of the bargain. I think that maybe revisiting them all after, I think there should be, after so long, we reevaluate those treaties and see if we need to stay in them, maybe every 10, 15 years or something like that. And obviously there's some that would instantly not meet the threshold of being a beneficial relationship right off the bat. But, I think having a military alliance with Mexico and Canada, so our continent is at least unified in some way, I think that's not a terrible idea.
All right. Back to you, Kaecey. New category, the war on drugs. Should drug use be treated only as a health issue, not a criminal one?
Yeah, it should. Because what somebody wants to do to themselves, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else, it doesn't matter what goes on. So if they wanted to be able to utilize the drugs or do whatever they want, feel free. And so, yeah, it is a health issue, and it's their self-choice. It's what they choose to do.
What do you think of the NFL banning smelling salts, Kaecey?
I don't have an opinion. It's just a waste of time to even talk about that versus the many other things we could deal with in the NFL. But sure.
I was thinking about banning smelling salts for the game show just in solidarity. What do you think of that?
I don't care. As long as you don't ban beer, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. Kyle, to you. Should states control all drug policy without federal interference? And by this, I mean medical and recreational.
I mean, absolutely not. There should be no state in the drugs at all. This should be an individual choice. So the state shouldn't control anything and federal shouldn't control anything. It's between you and your doctor. And if your doctor makes you sick or kills you, he should be sued out of his mind. Like that's it.
All right.
Short
David.
sweet.
Yeah, there you go. David, do you? Should all drug convictions be expunged if the law changes?
Yeah,
And I mean,
easily.
automatically here. Yep.
I think that should be the case with any crime. If you're convicted of something that's no longer illegal, that should not be on your record anymore. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
My controversial one a couple weeks ago is I said all juvenile offenses, all juvenile convictions should be expunged when they hit 18. What do you think of that?
I'd say all nonviolent.
Okay.
If you kill somebody at 16, you're still a murderer. You can rehabilitate, but you're probably not in a year and a half, right?
Well, you'll be charged as an adult if you kill somebody. So any juvenile conviction is what I was saying. So if you get into a school fight or something, it's a violent one, but
you're right. Where they kind of draw that line already on whether it's juvenile or adult, I think is about where I would draw the line. So I think I would agree with you.
Okay. I took some flack about that one, but everybody's agreed with me since. So I keep asking because I like to skew the numbers in my favor.
They just are terrified of freedom free.
Yeah. Well, I figure if somebody gets charged as a minor, then we're designating that they weren't of, an adult mind when they did it. So then therefore take it off their record so it doesn't follow them for the rest of their life. To me, it makes sense. If you're going to charge someone as not an adult, then don't treat them like an adult, All right.
I feel like it would also give, not to cut you off, but
go for it.
Give this kind of idea of that fresh start that a lot of people already feel at, 17 to 19 when they leave for college or whatever. It's new friends, new place, new classes, new teachers, whether they go into trade school or a job or college or whatever. If you're giving some of those other kind of freedoms and clean slates, I think it gives a lot more hope. Where there's a lot of people who are out there 14, 15, already have a couple of things on their record, already have their lives kind of messed up, and they already have no hope. If they know that in 3 years, as long as they don't do anything drastic, it all goes away, they can learn the lesson and have a fresh start at 18. I think it would change dramatically the actions of a lot of 16, 17-year-olds out there.
I agree. All right. Back to you, Kaecey. Should states be free to legalize any substance? And again, medical or recreational?
Yeah. Power resides with the states and the people. The federal government should not have a jurisdiction within the border. That is up to the states. So yes, it's however they decide.
I agree. Kyle, to you. Should foreign drug war funding be totally eliminated?
In this particular question, you're saying us funding foreign drug wars?
Well, like now we're like going after the cartels in Mexico, apparently, or all the stuff we've been doing in South America and Asia and Afghanistan and
right. I mean, cartels in general arise because they're illicit. If you have a scenario where something has been banned, you have a prohibition of something, there becomes a black market for it. This is obvious basic economics. And the fact that the government doesn't want to allow that because they want to pretend that they should have some kind of say in morality is utterly ridiculous. If someone wants to blow their brains out with cocaine, why is that Donald Trump's business in any way? It's just how it is.
Because they're not sharing.
It's your life to live. Yeah, that's a fair thing. That the government is the biggest fan of sharing is caring, but they only share one way.
Yeah, I think that they always lose sight of the fact that, if you get it from a doctor in Beverly Hills, it's legal. But if a poor person gets it, through other means, it's not legal. So it's the same drug. And, I'm not a fan either. All right, David, back to you. Should private labs be free to test drug safety without FDA interference?
Yeah. I'm going to go the super ANCAP stance here. Not that the FDA, in my opinion, is one of those things that needs to cut first. It does almost nothing. It approves bad drugs. It denies good drugs. It's completely bought and paid for, and it's just ruining the pharmaceutical industry. So, yeah, drug companies should be able to do whatever they can to develop new medicine that actually helps people. And the FDA, again, which has proven that it is not a good decider of whether or not something is safe to use or not, they should just fuck off.
Well, and I'm even talking about like if you buy a pill on the street or something, that you could go and take it to a pharmacy and have it tested. So even, any sort of testing whatsoever.
That's something that I think is really cool. That's something that you see a lot in like, the super duper blue cities like New York, which I lived in for about 5 or 6 years. I've seen plenty of places that are, free drug testing, no questions asked. You can come in, bring a little sample of whatever it is that you bought, make sure that it's not like laced or anything like that, and that you're actually getting what you bought. And, they don't report to the police or anything like that, which I think is really cool. I think those kinds of facilities are really helpful to the community because nobody wants to do, well, I won't say nobody, but very few people want to do like fentanyl. That's only getting into the system through, people who are intentionally abusing other people because they know that they're operating on the black market. If we can bring at least some of this into even just a gray market where people can talk about it without going to jail, it'll do a lot for public safety.
Absolutely. And Phil's here. Welcome, Phil. 100 to Kyle just because Terry asked and he probably owes Kyle money. So that'll work. it's a gray market. Points for money. We're doing anti-fiat. We're doing our own exchanges here. So
we're worth more points out here.
All right. Kaecey, back to you. Oh, no, we're to enter scores here. So, drop your scores in the chat if you haven't already. And let's check it out here. So let me remove this. And did somebody refresh it? Kaecey's here. So it makes it so much easier when Kaecey's here. So I don't have to do, like at this point, normally I wouldn't know where the scoreboard was and it wouldn't be refreshed. And so, all right, let's check it out here. And we got low scoring so far. David is in the lead. That's a nice start by you, David. Kyle is at break even at 0. And Kaecey's in his usual early deficit, minus 200. So, David, first time. What do you think so far?
I love it. It's like a libertarian. Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, that's kind of where the idea came from, was to, the scores don't count or whatever they say, so I said in the chat that in one of the comments or whatever, that this game's kind of like cricket. I don't know who wins and I don't know what the scores mean. I don't know any of the rules. So I'm not sure that was a great endorsement by me, but it's actually kind of true. So
it's a great concept though. It's fun.
Thanks. All right, let's jump back into it then. Kaecey, back to you. So we're talking about different types of wars. This category is the war on your wallet. Should government borrowing be constitutionally capped?
Yes. Yeah, because right now we have proven that we don't need Congress to be able to approve to strike wars, strike another country or get involved in a conflict with another country. And so we do need to have caps and protections in place for our corrupt government to keep spending money and give it to their military friends.
Yeah, they're just so dishonest about money. Like they're talking about these tariffs, like they're bringing in all this extra money. It's like, well, no, they're just going to spend it. They didn't cut taxes.
Yeah, where is it going?
Yeah. Did you see that thing? Somebody said, somebody posted that they have a small business and they're when they order stuff, UPS is now coming and collecting the tariff directly from them. So they have to pay the tariff to UPS. That, so like, oh no, the foreign company is going to pay it. But no, if it's, I think it's, if it's $800, UPS collects it from you.
I'm going to start just grabbing people's packages off their porch and being like, I'll give it to you for a tariff.
Yeah. I need someone to clip that Kaecey's going to grab people's packages and nothing else.
And we're off YouTube again.
Yep. Thanks, Kyle.
All right. Kyle, back to you. Should the dollar return to a gold or asset-backed standard?
Oh, this one's not necessarily a popular opinion, even with the entire libertarian crowd. But there shouldn't be a dollar. We should be returning to the people having trust in each other and creating our own intrapersonal currencies. if there is a federal dollar, it should be something that is completely voluntary and not forced upon everybody. It should not be controlled by the government. The state should be able to print dollars as well. And we should be all around, able to do the things that we want with the money we want. So we should be able to have that competition where if the government wants to have a gun-backed fiat like they currently do, that we're not required to use it because we know they're going to create inflation and make that worthless. And so we should be able to have something gold-backed, but it doesn't need to come from the federal government. It should come from me and you and everyone else.
Yeah, check out Zano. You can do all that stuff in Zano too. I know they're a sponsor, but I really do believe in the project. So make sure you're checking that out because you could do any of that stuff with Zano. It's all private, so they can't look into what you're doing or where your transactions are going. Like all financial transactions can be tracked now. So got to get off of the big bank grid and do our transactions some way else. So, all right.
Amen to that.
David, to you. Should the government be banned from creating money without public approval or printing money without public approval?
Depends on what you mean by public approval. You said this is we're supposed to answer as if the policy definitely exists, best case scenario within parameters. And I don't think that putting the choice just on a popular vote, the way that we pick our presidents for really anything is a good strategy. As corrupt and terrible as Congress is, I think it's a lot easier to just kind of remove power from the federal government than it is to just give that power to the general electorate, because they don't make good choices either, and usually worse choices if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Do we elect our president based upon a popular vote?
I mean, no, but
I would hope not.
No. That's the only thing that is even a national one thing vote, the only thing.
Right.
Yeah, but the point I kind of was going for there is that they printed like $8 trillion during the COVID emergency. And, that doesn't count on the national debt. So that's like a quarter of what we talk about as the national debt. That's not counted on the national debt. So they could just keep printing. And they say, oh, the national debt didn't go up at all because we printed $8 trillion. But of course, the national debt also did go up. And now the interest on that is $1 trillion a year. So that keeps going up. The interest keeps going up, but then they'll just keep printing money too. So, and now we've got tariffs, so we're going to have other revenue from there. And they're probably going to be spending, over $10 trillion a year at any point here. So it might, and then that doesn't even count unfunded liabilities, which are probably around $200 trillion.
Yeah. I would say that it should be a hard cap. I think it was maybe Kyle's question before this one, some sort of a hard cap, maybe even in the Constitution that stops various things from going overboard rather than it being just up to Congress's whims or on the ballot.
Yeah, that was just borrowing. That didn't even count printing. So yeah. I lost 100 points for selling out to the amazing services of Zano. So I'll take that.
Seamless. That was a seamless sponsor transition that was relevant, on topic, quick. You crushed that.
Thank you. And Kaecey got 100 for package grabbing. So
thanks, Scientific. I knew you would like it.
And then Kyle got it just for packages. So Chris says you had me at ban the government. All right, Kaecey, to you. Should government debt repayment have a fixed timeline? Like the ones that we have to do.
I would think so. I would like to also see it to be a little bit more how to phrase it. Let's just say we want it to be faster than what we're currently doing. We've been just adding to the debt and not paying to it for how many years? And you saw a girl do a freak out because she was trying to pay off her student loan debt and realized she's paying $1,500 a month and she can't do it. She can't pay it down. It's only going up. Well, good thing you spent $90,000 on your student loan to not know how to pay back your debt. Now you should go into Congress because Apparently, that's how you spend money.
Yeah. 100%. All right, Kyle, to you. Should the government be prohibited from investing in private companies?
Should the government is really the question. The answer is overwhelmingly no. But assuming that there is a government and you're asking if they should be able to invest in private companies, it depends on what you mean by invest. Like, obviously, in the world where we have a government military, which I've already talked about earlier, that has to be paid for somehow. Those weapons have to be bought. And so if they are investing in the company by buying things from the company and thereby giving a profit to the company, that seems fine. If they're investing in the company so that they own stock in that company and get to say how that company's run, nah, that's not okay.
That was a great answer. I thought you were going to Clinton the whole thing, like define is, or whatever.
I did not
he
have
said.
sexual relations with that woman.
All right.
You said we were allowed to like veto or tariff people's answers. How does that
Yeah.
work?
Do it.
We have no idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if to Kyle's caveat, if the government is to exist and have a budget that needs paid for, I think one of the better ways that it could do so is by just a standard investment into some of the companies within its own borders. If raising money while also supporting businesses is definitely better than robbing people at gunpoint through taxes or the many other current forms of revenue generation. I think just the federal government participating in the stock market, as long as they never own a controlling share of any company, I think would be not the worst thing.
I think this is time for debate.
Yeah, you debating here. So
I think so.
All right. So open with a point, and then you get to counter. And well, I guess he just opened with one. So Kyle, you get to counter, and then back to David, and then back to Kyle, and then you're done. So I'll remove me and Kaecey from the screen, and then Kyle to you. So
the problem there is that the government doesn't have any money. The government doesn't have anything to invest. So anything that they invest is inherently tax money that we could have invested in those same companies of our own volition. So if the government is investing in something, even if they're correct and they get a return out of it, there's additional overhead that has to be done for that. There's additional banking that has to be done for that. And there's, it's a stealing of the revenue of the company and the people. So they have added additional taxation without any additional services or anything else. They have given themselves a way to pretend that they're giving us a tax break.
I would say that, I guess we were going off of the hypothetical of being able to change policy for peer out. There is money in the bank currently. If we're doing it in a way of pulling back on taxation going forward, but then using the money that we have to try to generate revenue elsewhere, that would be something that, again, I feel would be better than continuing the current system of taxation or generating revenue through, police or fines and fees and other things like that. And this could even go down to the local level, where if a city government, has revenue from somewhere that they can then invest into a couple of mom and pop shops around town, rather than trying to tax it out of them or get it from speeding tickets, we're seeing both a boost in small businesses around the country while also getting the revenue elsewhere.
Comrade, government ownership of the ways and means.
Again, as long as there's no cap that never a controlling share, I think would be a very important caveat.
It's still, at the end of the day, the government choosing to own part of a business, and to, even if they can't say anything or anything else about it, they've chosen to have, winners and losers. They're choosing which business to invest in and giving that business a leg up over other competitors and everything else. And that can never be clean. Do you want Nancy Pelosi to be able to choose which businesses to invest in? Maybe if you're also investing in the same business.
Can I jump in for a second here? Let me clarify. So David, are you saying, like, instead of a bailout, the government should own part of the company if they have to bail them out?
I'm saying that government could invest in a company in a way where they're getting, monthly or annual returns on that investment, the same as a lot of people who participate in those, venture capital type investment. And
Are you talking more on the local level than on the federal level?
Either or. Again, I think that I'm not saying that this is a great idea. I'm saying that this would be a better way for the government to generate revenue off of the growth of businesses within our borders rather than the stifling of businesses and people within our borders through taxes and fines. And if you make it something more objective as far as like what you have to do to qualify for some of this money, and it's, X amount of percentage, like I said, they can't have a controlling share. So you can only get so much because they can only invest so much if you're only worth so much, right? That's up to you to grow your business and grow its worth before the government invests in it. And then it's just, an application process or something like that technically anyone can do. And then it's an objective line that they have to cross to get it. So it's not as much the picking winners and losers as much as it is the winners getting help and the losers who don't want to fill out a piece of paper don't get the money.
I mean,
Which
should
admittedly would
Mar-a-Lago
probably
be
be
on
me.
the list? Like, could Trump put Mar-a-Lago forward?
That's a good caveat, or a good question. I would say that one's always a tricky one if he still owns a controlling share of any business while he's the president.
Or even the airplane, the airplane that is presidential.
Qatar!
Yeah, his presidential library is going to get afterwards, and but we're responsible for retrofitting it and all of that.
I feel like some of that like objective standard could be that it is not already mostly funded by somebody within the government. Conflict of interest rules in something like this are fairly standard and already kind of exist in a lot of ways, and they're working on doing more of that currently, which is a good thing to see out of our federal government. I feel bad for Kaecey.
Let's add Kaecey back in. Yeah. What do you think, Kaecey?
Yeah, I will admit I wasn't keeping up on that last a little bit. But what did I miss?
Yeah, it was along what you would think. I'll give David credit. It was an interesting idea. I just think that there's a lot of things that, I always tell my son that, there's what you can do, there's what you can't do. And then, but, is the government capable of policing it? Something might be morally right or morally wrong, but if the government can't police it, there's no use having a rule about it because they can't police it anyways. So this to me enters that gray area of, would somebody corrupt take advantage of it, or would the government be able to do it efficiently and fairly? And, obviously, all of us kind of think that, yeah, they can't, but I mean, it is an interesting idea. Let's jump into the chat, see what they thought.
We just don't trust the government. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Chris says, Kyle for the win, 500. That's just a subsidized market takeover, David. Government is never objective. Keep the government out of the market.
Chris is mean tonight.
Chris comes in hot. Phil says, I see businesses doing this going into bankruptcy and the super rich keeping the wealth by salary. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, minus 500.
There we go.
100 to David for the happy cigarette. So you got that at least. So,
Hell yeah.
Scientific said, I would not be against my Social Security being invested in the S&P 500.
You are.
100 to David or Kyle. I can't tell anymore.
You want your money in the stock market just so where they can take your money? Good idea. Great. Good idea.
That's all of our retirement accounts.
There's a
100 to
reason
Kyle for coming back on the show after last time. Did last time not go well? What happened?
It went better for me than Tub.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
but Kaecey was definitely victorious last time.
Well, Kaecey lost 100 for not paying attention. So
I got it back for not trusting the government. So we're good.
There you go.
So, all right.
I had to try something there,
No, I appreciate the creativity on it. It's just, it's like with everything, like, it's hard to get past the government sucking in any type of solution. So,
yeah. for sure.
That was Kyle's question though, right? So it's to David. I think so,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, David, to you. Should all federal property be sold if unused?
If unused, cool. That's a nice caveat that's going to save me some points. Yes, definitely. I think, yeah, just the federal government holding on to a bunch of land that doesn't get used for anything. Or also like state and city governments do the same thing. There's all of that, like, there's the like quarter mile on each side of a highway that's just nothingness almost everywhere that could be things. There's a lot of just unused land all over the place that could be going to better use, especially when we're seeing cities like LA and New York and Chicago just become ridiculously overrun with people. We need to kind of flatten and disperse.
That Pelosi building that's sitting completely empty.
So why does it
bridge
have
to
to be
nowhere.
unused though?
I'm a big fan of the federal park system. I'm an Eagle Scout and a big like nature lover person. And as much as they don't do it great, they do it better than is one of the better things that they do. They maintain it fairly well. They don't take up that big of a chunk of the budget. It's not great, like with everything the government does, but it is
You got that right.
not terrible comparatively. And I'm a big fan of that. And so that's one of the places that a lot of people go to. It's like, oh, look at all these like parks in like Nevada and Oklahoma that we just need to sell that land.
Nevada?
What?
All the parks in Nevada. Have you been to Nevada? It's desert in Area 51.
Yeah. But people want to make that into like the next big city or something because we got to sell it. And I don't know what Mike Lee was on. Like he was going.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I say this, and if I'm happy to debate this, because if you're wanting to talk about national parks and all of those things, I absolutely agree. I'm a big RVer. I go out into national parks. I will do those things. But when you start talking about federal land, my state actually has the most federal land owned in this country, and the federal land owned in the state of Utah is 35 like million acres, but our federal land is only 6 million acres. Why does the federal government own 35 million acres? That's 29 million acres that are not federal, like anything national parks.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they need that much land?
Yeah, I don't think there's a debate on this one. I'm with you. I just if that last little bit wasn't on the initial question, I would have had to have thrown the parks caveat in from the start, and I'm sure the chat would have had something to say about my communism on that one too.
I will tell you right now, it starts with ur and anium on why the government owns so much land. That's why they took so much land from my state, is so they can get uranium from the property without having to go through any checks and balances.
Damn.
Yeah. And then you have the whole thing of the government, giving sweetheart deals on leases to companies and, all of that stuff as well. So
Thanks, BlackRock and Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. All right. Kaecey, back to you. And this category is sponsored by Zano, and it is parallel economies and privacy. So should private transactions be fully shielded from government oversight?
Absolutely. And thank you, Zano, because honestly, we need to protect everything from federal oversight. As I've said multiple times in this tonight, is we shouldn't have government involved in anything, especially within our borders. They need to be protecting outside. Inside our states, that government does not need to be involved in our transactions. Now, we could have a conversation about sales tax, but that is about it. That is where they should reside.
Excellent. Kyle, to you. Should citizens have the right to anonymous online purchases?
This one's the epitome of a softball. Of course we should. We should be able to have any purchase we want to be anonymized. The government has no business knowing, whatever I'm into. The government has no business knowing, pretty much anything about me. They should not know what cereal I'm getting. They should not know if I, need a medication. They should not know anything about me. The idea that they should be able to track our purchases online, and especially to make sure, like I'm in Georgia where they have recently, relatively, moved over to taxing online purchases. Like they shouldn't be able to do that either. Like I'm not when I purchase something from Texas, it should not be that I am taxed with the Georgia tax on this. That's ridiculous. It came from Texas. I am pro Fruit Loops. Sai is correct.
You are a Fruit Loop. I will not debate that. That is
Yeah, you got 100 points for being pro Fruit Loops. So there you go.
I mean, Casey's not wrong. Casey's seen what I post on Twitter. He knows I'm a Fruit Loop.
Facts.
Oh man. All right. David, back to you. Should anonymous charitable donations be free from IRS tracking?
Yeah, for sure. In a world where the IRS exists, I don't know why you're doing charitable donations anonymously because they're tax write-offs. But if you want to do it anonymously, you should definitely have the right to do so.
Great point. All right, Kaecey, back to you. Should local communities issue their own blockchain currencies?
Should they, as in it's encouraged? Yes, but there should be no mandates because you should have the freedom of choice. But ultimately, we should encourage privacy and protection. And that's what that would be in establishing.
All right. Kyle, to you. Should barter transactions be recorded privately on the blockchain for proof?
If the two people bartering decide to go through a blockchain, yeah. If they decide they don't want to go through a blockchain for whatever reason, then no. That's between the two people bartering and the deal that they strike. Would I prefer to have that kind of receipt? Yeah. But I'm not going to be mad if my neighbor decides to trade with the neighbor on his other side who doesn't want to do that. That's up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Great. David, to you. Should crypto-based microloans be exempt from banking rules? Oh, did we lose you?
No, there we go. Sorry. I don't know how that happened.
That was, I think you got taken over by a bot there for a second. So
It's Russia.
Yep.
Did you get the question?
Yeah, I think everything should be exempt from banking rules. I think the regulations that we have federally over the banking industry is such a big chunk of the problem for so many different things, whether you're talking about the fact that dispensaries around the country and legal states have to still operate cash only in most cases because they're not allowed to have a bank account because federally it's still illegal and the banks have to be following the federal laws as well as the local laws. And I think that all of that needs to get removed. I think that banking needs to be something that is completely removed from government. We need to abolish the Federal Reserve. And banking in and of itself is not an evil industry. It's the way that they have monopolized it and controlled it and made it to where you can't just have these private transactions. I can't just tomorrow start a bank in my local community, not using US dollars at least. We would have to go the crypto route. And even then, as we've seen with like the Crypto 7 in New Hampshire, that doesn't always go well for you and your family and your livelihood. So I think that we need to just get rid of all of that.
You're here.
Yeah, great point. And Roman Storm just got convicted this week. So it continues to go poorly for those out there in the crypto world. So hopefully something good will happen there. Scientific gave you 100 points for going off the grid. I think it was appropriate during the privacy conversation that you went off grid. So that was very, very on brand. So minus 100 to Dan for being late. So let's see.
Come on, man.
Slacker.
100 for uranium.
James Ray got points.
And let's see. Minus 100 to KC. I said S&P 500 specifically.
Doesn't matter. S&P 500.
100 to David. Most of the land going through desertification is federally owned land. That's an interesting point. 100 to Kaecey for not trusting the government from Shirley. Minus 100 to David for his lack of Eagle Scout knots. Was he supposed to be wearing the?
Wow.
Are you
I have
supposed
the
to wear that
uniform somewhere
24/7?
in this house? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 1,000 points if you find the uniform after moving. That would be the most impressive thing to ever happen on the show. Let's see. Chris says the Constitution would allow the states to, but it is not a federal power granted by the Constitution. Let's see why that won't go away, but that's stuck on the screen. Interesting.
You did like glitch out for a second for me anyway.
Did
so
I?
I wonder
You
if
did. Yeah. But you came back. You're good.
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Am I here?
Yeah.
All right.
You're good.
I had a weird Sixth Sense feeling there. That was weird. All right.
The CCP.
Freeze these dead people.
All right. Back to Kaecey. So this is the war on guns, and I thought this would be an appropriate time to say free Dexter Taylor, who's doing 10 years in New York for a ghost gun assembly charge, which I do not think is
Absolutely
against the
insane.
Second Amendment at all. And so Dexter Taylor should not be in jail. So free Dexter. Kaecey, to you, should concealed carry be legal nationwide?
It is legal nationwide. It is in the Constitution, is your Second Amendment, and you should be doing it.
All right. I don't think it's technically legal nationwide, but I get your point. Yeah. I just don't want somebody to get in trouble in New York like Dexter did. So I think this is none
Look,
of this.
they
is
can't
legal
arrest
advice.
everyone from New York, all right?
If everybody
If
did
they
it,
all do it.
Yeah.
look how long
Yeah.
it took for them to go after J6ers, right? Think about if we all stood up and stopped paying taxes. Well, would they come and take all of our property? No.
Oh
It
yeah.
could-
All right, Kyle, to you. Should all gun registries be destroyed?
All ones owned by the government, yeah. If you want to register your guns with your local club or whatever to show off to your buddies, that's fine. But through the government, yeah, they shouldn't know shit about what you own.
I would not want to be in a private one either, but that's just me. So
Yeah.
Right. Nor would I. But some people are like, I've got a buddy who's got several transferable, legal, blah blah blah, machine guns, and he freaking loves to show the things off. He will travel around the state and like let people fire them, and it's one of those like, you paid like 60 grand for that gun, man. Why are you letting anybody touch it that you're not already friends with?
Guns are dangerous. I have a gun-free zone sign in the front of my house.
yeah,
Nice.
I already
Oh.
mentioned I lost mine in a boating accident. So
I had a long hair and a beard last time, and Ryan's going after me anyway.
Sucks to
See
suck.
how it is, Ryan. See if I donate to your next campaign.
Right? Ryan is no matter what.
Ooh,
Ever happy.
still just trying to buy points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got right now, David.
there you go.
I think you're in the lead right now.
I think I'm in the lead now. I just got 10,000
Oh,
for
yeah,
free
that's
Dexter
true.
Taylor. So
Oh,
that's
BS.
Nice.
Yeah.
Take that away.
David, you got 100 for being from Texas, so that's good.
Nice.
Love you too, Ryan. Jerk.
100 to David for looking like he could go for some Fruit Loops right now. Oh, classic.
Scientific is always talking about food in the chat. Always.
Well, sometimes
Look, if
you eat
scientific
on the
says
show
that Fruit
too.
Loops is okay, then suddenly Fruit Loops are good.
There you go.
Yeah. Amity's spot on here. Massey's national concealed carry reciprocity needs to pass so that states cannot override 2A. Minus 100 to Kaecey for not mentioning that in his answer.
Fair.
Uh,
I'll give that to you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
D lost hers in a river somewhere. Yeah, that
Nice.
happens. Mine are probably in a swamp at this point. Yep.
Mine was
Republicans show off their guns. Libertarians tell you that it's none of their business. 100 to Kyle. That's fair.
The guy in question is in fact a Trumper.
Makes
Well,
sense.
and yeah.
Yeah, I
And
saw Red Dawn at way too young of an age to ever submit to a gun registry.
hmm
as libertarians, it's important that we understand the Constitution only limits the federal government. The rest is left to the states and the people. And why does Casey's hat logo match his beard shape? 25 for coordinating. There we go.
Thank you. I appreciate the love, Ryan.
Yeah, beard. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, all right. All right, David, to you. Should gun confiscation without due process be banned?
Yes, 100%. And I think everyone should have the legal right to shoot back at anyone who tries to do it.
There you go.
Yeah, 100%. And all right, Kaecey, back to you. Should firearm manufacturers be immune from liability for legal sales?
As long as we're making pharmaceutical companies immune for things, then we should make firearm companies immune of things. But I don't think we should make anybody immune of anything. I think that should just be open to the market and everybody has to deal with the consequences of their actions, whatever it may be. But if we're going to pick and choose, then sure, let's make them immune just like we make pharmaceutical companies immune.
Really good answer.
Except for SIG. You can't just be dropping and killing airmen, man.
Hey, I actually love that, Greg. Leave SIGs alone.
You got a P320 though?
No, I got a 365.
Correct. No one's proud of their P320s.
There's a lot of people that are proud of their 320s.
They're just wrong.
Right.
Oh man. All right. Kyle, to you. Should gun laws be uniform nationwide?
Absolutely. There shouldn't be any.
There you go.
That was good camera work. I knew there was a wink coming with a click. I knew that. That was good. Can I get an Emmy for this, or is that? I don't know. We'll look at that later.
Someday.
Yeah.
No comment.
You can get a Webby probably.
A Webby? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
David, to you. Should waiting periods for firearms be abolished?
Mandatory ones, yes. But if a store or a manufacturer or private organization wants to have one, I think it's not the worst idea in the world. I think that there is some pretty decent data to back that just having a cool off period can mostly dissuade a lot of the kind of just like heat of the moment violence that we see with guns. And a lot of times there's not a whole lot of like super good reasons to need a gun in 5 minutes. And if there is, then I think that there should be some caveats to it. That again, that private organization can have some nuance with it that the government would never be able to have because it's the government.
I'm in favor of 5-minute guns and vending machines. So I'll just throw that out there.
I'm not against it. I'm just saying if you want to be known as the company that's like doing something to try to prevent some of that violence, and that's your angle, and you're going to have a 24-hour waiting period, that should also be your prerogative.
You won't sell any guns.
Yeah. All right. And if you want to donate to Dexter Taylor's legal defense, you can look him up. I have a post in my highlights if you want to check that out as well. So good luck to Dexter. We're rooting for you, bud.
Facts.
Do I have another one here? Kaecey, to you. Should all gun confiscation programs be illegal?
Yes. Well, they are illegal. We should not be confiscating guns. They are illegal. Like, you can't be making this up. Like, these laws to protect our Second Amendment doesn't exist. It exists to protect our Second Amendment. It is illegal.
All right.
I'm right.
Kyle, to you. Should ballistic databases be legal?
As an aerospace engineer who cares a lot about the aerodynamics of bullets and other things, and I'm actually working on a round for a friend right now for her air rifle company. Yeah, you should be able to have ballistics databases. Not any other kinds, though.
Okay.
Oh, you're in many databases, Kyle. Many.
Oh, yeah. I've been on the no-fly list. I know what this is like.
The reason why I don't leave the country, I probably won't be allowed back in. So,
yeah.
You know the 2008 like a PayPal hack? I know that guy. He's a friend of mine. He lived across the quad from me at Georgia Tech my freshman year.
Nice.
Interesting.
He's a cool
All
guy.
right.
Works for HP now.
He's responsible for our printer ink never working now.
Right?
Damn right. If your printer doesn't work, let me know, and I'll send a package to Jack to show him how bad you're mad.
See, Kyle was packages too.
Damn right. I will handle anyone's package for the right fee.
Oh boy. All right, David, to you. Should 3D printed firearms be fully legal?
So this one, to Casey's point, in most cases actually is. Not in all cases. There are a few states that have had the forethought to try to do this, but not very many have caught up to it. So in a lot of cases, it already is legal. Definitely in the perfect world, it would be.
All right.
Print your guns, people.
Print guns,
Enter
not
your
money.
scores in the chat. Let's get some scores going here. We're low on the scores here, so we need some points. Let me jump into the chat and see. We got a couple new ones here. Phil says 50 to Kyle and 50 to KC because I'm picking winners by investment. There we go.
There you go.
100 to Kyle for the thumbs up and wink. Very classy. I think you spelled creepy wrong there, Scientific. I think that was a typo. 100 to David. I'm still wondering what he's squinting at. The suspense is a great addition. 100 to Kyle for great package handling. There we go. Oh yeah, there's thank you, Terry. There's the link to Dexter's legal fund. You can go to his link tree. It's carbon_Mike at link tree there. So thanks for doing that, Terry. And let's jump into the scores here. And there we go. That was weird. It's a little blurry on that too. David's still in the lead with 800, and Kyle's right on his tail there with 650, and Casey's creeped into the positive here with 475. So still anyone's game, really.
Oh yeah. If Shador Sanders have a chance to be drafted into the NFL, I think anybody can win tonight. So I think we're good.
There we go. Chris says Kelsicles isn't getting much love, but giving solid answers. 100 to what the hell, guys. There we go. All right. Let's see. New category: the war on small business. Casey, to you. Should interstate commerce rules be eliminated for small sellers?
That's a good one. I think leave that up to the states. I don't see why we have to be getting involved in those transactions. Let them do it. If they don't like the transaction itself or something going on, then they'll just go somewhere else. So leave it as a free market. Let that handle it.
Ooh, I got some bad news for you here, Casey. Yeah, you got nuked by Scientific for being poor.
Go back to eating some food. Like, what are you doing typing, Scientific?
He took a break from his nutrition just to nuke you there. So I think,
yeah, apparently, because the first time he was on this show, he was eating pineapple from a can. Like,
from
dude.
a can, yeah, from a can. Well, they can't get
What I
fresh
call
stuff in
nutrition.
Iowa 9 months out of the year, so you got to eat out of a can. So, oh, Chris is adding one here too. So now got to go Thanos on old David and even things out. I swapped my nuclear thumb and eliminate his lead. So, all right, so we got two nukes there. So now you're back down to 0, David. If that wasn't clear enough, nuke takes you back down to 0. So Kyle has jumped out in the lead temporarily. So usually these things come in threes. So I'm sure Kyle's not resting easy here.
No.
All right. Yeah. I thought it was interesting to talk about the interstate commerce rules because that actually is in the Constitution. So
Last time I got nuked 3 times back to back.
yeah,
It was pretty fun.
still no sight of Amanda. That's kind of interesting. So maybe she's going to swoop in at the end and ruin your day. So
That's what I
all right.
expect.
That's not what I meant to do. And Kyle, to you. Should small farms sell directly without FDA oversight?
I think all farms should sell directly without FDA oversight. I think that if there's an FDA, which I'm not a fan of in the first place, the FDA should be something that is a voluntary system for you to go get certified through. And if you don't get certified and someone wants to still eat your food and drink your drinks, that's fine.
All right. Really? Really? That comment, and you're going to say I can't read? I feel like I should get an extra effort award for making something out of that comment at all. So, all right. David, you. Should small farms be exempt from USDA regulations?
Yes. I think if there is to be an FDA or a USDA, it should be at a threshold that you, as long as you are such small of a business, you are not subject to those kind of regulations. If you want to expand, as mentioned earlier, like interstate or something like that, then maybe you open yourself up to the government, at least taking a peek. Again, if a government is to exist. But if you are just a farm that is selling to your community and everybody knows you, there's no reason the government needs to be involved in that in any way.
Okay. Kaecey, back to you. Should internet-based businesses be free from state sales tax across borders?
Yes, 'cause I believe taxation is theft. We should not be charging sales tax on a lot of things. Like sales tax can exist, but we have proven that our federal government doesn't care and they will take all of our money from us. So we need to be able to take all of that back. So I do agree that we should not have any taxation at this point.
Okay. I thought Kyle was singing. Or is that Amanda? Is Amanda here?
Yeah. Yes. So Kyle can be weeping in fear.
Dramatic entrance from Amanda.
Amanda from the top rope.
That would not hurt at all. She could jump, she could jump from the top of the stadium. Be like trying to catch like a straw.
What has a higher terminal velocity, Amanda or a feather?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Kyle, it's to you. Should licensing boards be dissolved in favor of private certification?
Also, yes. Licensing boards are bullshit. So I'm from the country. I don't talk like it anymore because every time I do, people call me stupid. But they still call me stupid, but it's just slightly less often. When you look at like the history of most of their licensing boards, they came from people who wanted there to be some kind of restriction, like for a population, and they said that the only way for that to exist was the government. But these are people who have come together to say, we don't like this thing, and they push for it until the government's gone for it. Buy the land, protect the land, let the deer live that way, and then we don't have the problem where the government ships deer across the country to try to repopulate the deer, and then we have a ton of wrecks and everything else from the world's stupidest deer on the East Coast. This is blatant and obvious. Licenses of all kinds should be coming from a private group to show that this group that people can go look at has certified that you're good. If we have a government road and the government is forcing the government driver's license on people to be on that road, then it's the government's property. I don't believe in government property. I think those roads should overwhelmingly be made by the people. But licensure in general from the government is ridiculous. I should not have a marriage license. That is a contract between me and my wife, and in our case, the Lord. I am mentioning Massey's Prime Act to...
Too late.
Nope, it's already there. This all seems very blatant and obvious to me. Why should I trust the federal government who says that someone deserves a license because they have a gun, not the person has a gun, but the government has a gun, rather than listening to the experts in the field and everything? That's ridiculous. All
right. And I I think I should get points for writing questions with the Prime Act in mind there. So, and Kyle, just point of clarification there. Did you say hickstery? Was that? Did you go hickstery on that? Is that a rural term? Is that?
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Do you keep hickstery in the Farmer's Almanac? Is that where that's kept? Is that the ledger?
Farmer's Almanac is too high dollar.
Right next to his duct tape and baling wire.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you could see my desk right now. I grew up very much in a place where every door had a gun behind it.
There you go.
Kids knew not to touch the guns, rather than this idea that, like, if they're not locked up, it's unsafe.
Yep.
I one of my closest friends had never heard of the concept of locking your door for any reason other than, like, everyone was gone and you were, like, mildly nervous about it. That's, the moving to the city and then being stuck in the city has been a very big change for me.
Who locks their doors? I put a gun-free zone in front of my house, like sign. It protects me from everything.
That's why I'm coming into your house with a katana.
There you go.
You need a crime-free zone sign, I think.
There you go.
There's crimes you can do at a house without a gun, I think. So,
personally, I've got a sign out front that says "No baddies or I'll cry." Seems to work pretty well.
Yeah. I think you got lucky. I don't think the chat honed in on you saying that you were dumb. So I feel like that was a stroke of luck for you. So. All right, David, back to you. Should startup owners have immunity from certain lawsuits for 5 years?
No, definitely not. We should not be. I think Kaecey said this earlier, like giving immunity to anyone from lawsuits so that they can just wreak havoc on the market unchecked, I think is a bad idea. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, we don't believe in much, but we believe in contracts, right? So, all right. Kaecey, to you. Should zoning laws be removed for home-based businesses?
Yeah. Remove all restrictions for allowing people in the market to flourish. Allow people to have the American dream. Stop putting restrictions on people to where they have to be paying more government funds or spending more money in the industry to give to some landlord. Allow the market to do it. And so let people freely run their business.
Okay. Kyle, to you. Should product labeling be voluntary for small producers?
I again think that should be voluntary for all producers. Personally, I am not going to buy a product that isn't labeled or unless I know the person, obviously. Like, if I don't know what's going into it, I'm not putting it in my body as a general rule. That's certainly not always true because Taco Bell is delicious. But as a general rule, labeling should be up to the business itself. It should not be something that's done because otherwise you're going to get shot or put in the prison. That's ridiculous.
Okay. David, you. Should state governments handle all business inspections?
No. Government shouldn't handle business inspections, period. But I think if there is a level of government that should, it should almost overwhelmingly be the counties. Cities and towns and the different structures that have too many gaps and too many inconsistencies. States are way too big. I think county oversight is the happy medium there. If we have to have one, it should all be county based.
Okay. Kaecey, new category, the war on rights. Should every federal law expire after 10 years unless renewed?
It should expire. I'm questioning the 10 years. Because I'm fine with it being shorter. Let's make it the term of the current president that it goes into place. And then it can go away. Because we are seeing the current, with all administrations, even the current one, they only want to do things for what supports them when they're in office. So why are we held accountable for something that is going on just because of what they decide right then. So I think it should just at least extend through, if we want to have it expire at the date that president was in office, so it doesn't carry over.
Interesting.
Can I debate
Kyle,
that
to you.
one?
What's that?
Can I debate that one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
This one's a fun nuance. But I think that
Oops.
some
Oh, not Kyle.
Now I'm hitting the wrong
Kyle
button.
on screen.
I think that sunset clauses are a really useful thing in a lot of legislation, and that people who are writing legislation should try to do it as much as possible.
Sure.
But I don't think that it should be necessarily a universal policy, because that prohibits, things like some of the legislation that's been brought up on this show for Massey. If any of that gets passed, if he passes the One Subject at a Time Act, I don't want that to sunset in 10 years. What if he's not there to lead the charge in 10 years and it doesn't get renewed? I want that to be able to be a lot more lasting.
That goes into the opposite side. That's same with evil instead of good. You're making the case for good, and when I could make the case for evil on why we need to cut it short. What we need to have is, we should have everything sunset. And when we have our current administration really taking away or trying to take away our rights every time they show up to work, like, look at how blissful everybody's living in the month of August because Congress is not making any decisions. And so we should really be looking at restricting on how much oppression that they do put on America. Yeah, that is a crazy word to use, but I'm okay. Let's take this another little bit further then. So let's say if Congress does not pass a law that does not have 2/3 of the vote, it has a sunset. If it has 2/3 of the vote, it's permanent.
I like that. I was, as you were answering and I was coming up with the debate, I was thinking some sort of that, but I hadn't gotten there by the time I started my little monologue. So I will accept your friendly amendment, and I like something like that, where if enough of them agree on it, it's permanent.
Deal. We'll take that.
That worked out good. All right. Let's add that back. Oh, now we're all out of order. What are we doing here? Mixed it all up. All right. So now it's to you, Kyle. I reshuffled the cards. Should religious freedom protections be absolute?
That depends on exactly what you mean by religious freedom protections. Because if your religious freedom means that you are allowed to inflict some kind of tyranny or authoritarianism on someone else, then no. If you have taken someone's voluntary actions away, then no. But as far as like your personal religion, with everyone consenting and they're able to consent, etc. Yeah, of course.
All right. David, to you. Should police body camera footage be public record?
I think it should be definitely like FOIA requestable. I don't know about just like automatic public database, because there's a lot of interactions that should be recorded for, just in case, that I don't think people would want public, just in every scenario. Just being a part of the policy writing and things as far as law enforcement goes. I've seen a lot of interactions and things where it would be illegal for a lot of the footage to go up anywhere, because it involves like nudity or other things like that. So no, I think that there's a lot of weird stuff there that could make that really dangerous for everybody's interactions with police to be just public record.
Okay. Let's jump into the chat here. We got a few after the debate here. 100 to Kaecey and David for disaster relief, which I suspiciously hold all of the contracts for. Dan says he would not trust a 3D printed gun, at least not from his 3D printer. Minus 100 to David. Big wellness is bigger than big pharma and employs less high-paying labor.
I saw that one come in. I don't understand what I said that was pro big wellness.
Yeah, I don't recall at this point.
He eats pineapple from a can. He gets confused.
Yeah. All right. There's a federal sales tax minus 100 to QC.
It says an elected politician. He doesn't know there's federal sales tax because they do end up enforcing it because with selling on the internet, if you do transactions, they force you to pay those state taxes. The state isn't doing it. Federal enforcement is forcing it.
You are on a show called Are You Smarter Than a Politician?
Oh.
Good point.
And here's that comment. Minus 500 to Kyle. He could have mentioned Massey's Prime Act.
I did. I don't know.
And then cheater for doing it after you read it. And too late, Kyle. She got you on that. I don't know what that was about. 100 to Kyle for having a longer explanation than Maj. Never put those two on a show together.
I need to replay that. I haven't seen that.
100 to David for the pure disgust and the no. Excellent. All right. Yeah, people like the vehement answers. Rebecca got points for banging on the desk like Mussolini.
That was so.
I think it's still echoing in my ear.
Right?
Yeah. All right. QC to you.
Let's go.
What?
He said, let's go.
Okay. Should encryption be a protected right?
It's a slippery slope, but I do believe yes. Because this is where we get into sensitive subjects. Like say we want to talk about CP, right? And that's where encryption is used in a lot of ways. And CP on the internet is not right. We should not be having that on the internet. But I do want to protect everybody else's rights to be able to do what they want freely and to protect what they want to do on the internet. So it should be a protected right, but there is a sensitive topic in there that we need to figure out how we handle.
You don't think Chris Paul should be on the internet?
I'm not talking about Chris Paul.
Oh, okay.
And Ryan, yes, I'm doubling down on a federal sales tax because it is not going to the federal government, but they strongly enforce it.
Yeah. The federal vig on the state sales tax.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, to you. Should property owners have absolute say over land use?
Oh, I'm going to say no on this one. There's hold on, stay with me for a second. This is because, again, I'm an engineer. I can make some scary shit, and it could run off into the next person's land and cause problems. So as long as everything I do stays on my land and never leaves, yeah. If I'm doing something that's going to cause harm to someone else, that person has recourses against me. And so I should have absolute exactly on my land and nowhere else.
Why is your plumbing running on other people's land?
Right.
Oh, it's not my plumbing that's the problem.
Oh, different kind of
I'm
shit.
worried about your plumbing on somebody else's land. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if I go over to your land and steal your water, that's also pretty bad.
I'm not worried about water.
If I go over and steal your plumbing, it's also pretty bad.
Copper's worth money.
Copper is. That's why we use PEX.
Yeah.
All right, David, to you. Should government be barred from buying private data from brokers?
Yes. 100%. The government doesn't need to get data other than the data that we choose to voluntarily give them. Just period. If they want the information, they can fucking ask for it.
Facts.
I like it. All right, Kaecey, to you. Should journalists have full legal protection for sources?
Yes. We should protect journalists. We should protect them to be able to release the information. Now, we have a bad history of that over the last probably 30 plus years at this moment of journalists being evil. But no matter what, we should be protecting them to make sure that they could release the information in trust that they will not be prosecuted.
Okay. Kyle, to you. Should digital IDs be banned unless voluntary?
Ooh, I mean, the unless voluntary is doing a lot of weight carrying there, but I guess that if they're voluntary with the government, that's still okay. I don't like IDs in general from the government, but if you have a digital ID with the government and it's purely voluntary and it's not coerced by like you can't use a service unless you have that ID, then I guess that can exist that way as long as it takes no money from any person.
Okay. And David, to you. Should all warrants be time limited to 30 days?
I kind of like that one, actually. Yeah, if you can't act on it fast enough, you should have to resubmit for it. I like that one.
All right. Somebody liked one of my ideas. I'm giving you 100 points for liking my idea.
Oh, Jesus. Let's stop this right now.
No one ever likes my idea.
That is banned on this show. You cannot agree with the government.
Wait, let me check the rules. Do we have a copy of the rules somewhere?
Says the government.
Sure that's allowed.
We don't trust you.
I make a lot of rules and nobody ever reads them, and so then we don't even know what the rules are. But there are punishments, though. There's lots of punishments. So, all right, well, that'll wrap it up here. So put your scores in the chat here, and let's go through here and check what's going on in the chat. And Brandon's here. Welcome, Brandon. Came in a little late, but appreciate having you in the repost. Scientific took 100 from Kaecey because he wasn't paying attention.
Go eat your pineapple.
Chris says, whoa, this is a big one. I'm totally losing points for reading this. Localities have been given power by the Constitution and that state to institute zoning laws if they choose, as long as it's not prohibited in the state's constitution. To prohibit this is to deny the power granted to the states and the people that as guaranteed by the 10th Amendment. So, and then Ryan says abolish executive orders. And so I think I'm caught up there. So, all right, let's go to the scoreboard here and let's see where we ended up here. Not a huge change here, but one piggyback here. So,
rigged.
Kyle jumps up and takes the lead at the end here. So Kyle with the big win. David slipped back a little bit to 400 points, and Kaecey slipped back a little bit to 200 points. Kaecey, what do you have to say? Kaecey, you came in third place here. What do you think?
We'll give it to Kyle. We got to let him win every once in a while, so he will at least return. But that's okay. It's all good. You got to be able to help the small guy. So we're good.
And plug your show too, please.
Yeah, I got Truth Will Set You Free. That went away a while ago. Jesus. The They Both Suck podcast, doing it on Wednesdays. The last 2 weeks I haven't done it thanks to my work and Doge, but we will be back at it this week. We got some things to talk about. 8 p.m. on Wednesdays.
I think we already had the Wednesday this week. So you're saying Wednesday next week.
I said 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, implying every week at that time.
I heard this week. That's what I heard. I'm just saying. David, first time, had the lead most of the way, and then you ended up in second place. What'd you think?
I had a blast. This was great. I think the point system is flawless. I think the host is amazing. The chat's great. I had a blast. Thanks for having me on.
Anything you want to plug?
Fight for Liberty weekly. I think we're on Tuesday nights now. We're shifted from Wednesdays. Starting, we won't have an episode this coming week, but the following week, and then every Tuesday night. I've got a new show coming to the network called Bootleg Cinemas, where me and my good friend Brian Lambert are going to review super old movies and have a great time, watch them together, kind of like Wonderful World of Disney style. And that's going to be Monday nights. So definitely follow Free Speech Media. Keep on top of all the shows that we're doing. It's been fun.
Oh, so you're going up against me on Tuesday nights. What time on Tuesday night did you say?
I still need to figure that out.
Okay.
To be quite frank.
Yeah, we all know how that goes. All of us run shows, so we all certainly know how that goes. So Kyle, the big winner tonight, what'd you think?
Rigged.
It is a lot easier to win when you're the only one who's not nuked. So thank you, chat. It's I'm like, this is fun every time. It's I was excited to be invited back. That suggests to me that you guys don't totally hate me. Free and Kaecey and I hung out some down at LPF. David and I hang out online sometimes in the middle of Libertarian Happy Hour, which is going on right now.
Right
People should go see.
Oh yeah.
At lphappyhour.com. Or libertarianhappyhour.com? Doesn't matter. I don't care.
LP Happy Hour. You're right the first time.
Yeah. So go check out the LP Alliance at lpalliance.com. We do actually have that URL now. So if you have the old URL, you don't have to use that one anymore. No more dashes. Dashes are trashes. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, that was great. Great. That was great. We love having you. So I don't know what you were saying there. We love having you. So
He's happy Amanda didn't show up and nuke him. That's what.
Then Ryan did not nuke you in hopes that you donate again.
Oh, what a jerk, Ryan.
Charlie's here. Hey, Charlie, thanks
rigged.
for reposting. Why does Kaecey's beard look like Cruella de Vil's hair?
Because I have to
I
deal with
can't.
politicians like you. That's why.
I can't talk about it because mine's going that way too. So I think it looks distinguished.
I'll donate all my points to Kaecey if he sings the Ballad of Chasing Lane right now.
Kudos to David
Yeah,
for
you don't
finishing
want to hear me
strong. And Ryan says, congrats to Kyle, stay classical. Oh, I like that. Excellent. So let me bring on Terry. Terry, what'd you think?
I had fun as always, and I learned as always. Congratulations, Kyle. Too bad I couldn't have nuked you because, I've never been on, but I'd have nuked your butt. I would have done it for sure. I mean, that's only fair, right? Put everybody back to zero.
Terry, you are part of the government. You can nuke anybody you want whenever you want.
No, then I wouldn't be following Free's rules.
You have all the nuke.
I have to follow Free's rules because I can't handle the punishment.
Free
All right.
doesn't follow Free's rules.
I think only our greatest ally can tell you to do that.
No. Who's the greatest ally? I don't have any allies. I don't like people. All right. You guys.
And that was the moment Terry became a libertarian.
Keep working on it, guys. I'm not there yet, but you did a good job tonight. I was shaking my head yes a whole lot more than no. I can promise you that. You guys did a great job. It was great to have you, David, Kaecey. I love you.
And I want to say again, thank you to Zano. Your privacy matters. Choose Zano, the leading blockchain platform that prioritizes confidentiality and security. That's intro.zano.org. You can also get sweet shirts like the one I'm wearing here at freedomsuperstore.com. That's where my other car is a killdozer and make anarchy great again. Shirts like that. You can get those and mugs. And make sure you're following me and Terry at Freedom for Us for All and Bat T76. And I got to throw David's logo in here, but make sure you're checking out all of our friends that in all their shows. Bunch of great shows on there. People have been on here, and we'll have to add David's as well. So
Sure. Don't plug us. I see how it is. Okay.
Okay. You're literally right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
No. See over on the right where there's all the apps? No friends. I see how it is.
No, because you have a logo in the middle. Do you not understand?
Not even our logo. I'm sad. I'm
That's
offended.
not yours? I grabbed it like a month ago. I don't know. All right, send me a logo. I'll put it in. I got to put David's in too. So get it. I'll get it in there. But thank you to everybody in the chat. Really, you make it fun, and obviously the scoring is all you guys. So thank you for doing that. And we're on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Terry, who do we got on Tuesday?
Let's see. On Tuesday, we will have Travis Wells. He's a first-time guest, and so is Sean Collins. and then Mark Poles, who will be on for his second time. So Tuesday night will be a lot of fun. It's going to be a very interesting show from what I have researched so far. So looking forward to it. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and you guys be here.
And you'd better know them as Appalachian Liberty and Buds in Reality and Mark's Mark. So yeah,
Yep.
I just
Should
met
be a-
Buds last weekend.
were you in Michigan?
I was.
Nice. How was that?
It was a fucking blast. Everybody should go to the Midwest Peace and Liberty Fest next year. It was literally like one of the coolest events I've been to. It was a little bit smaller than some of the other events, but that kind of just made it better in a lot of ways. It's still just that kind of like anarchist utopia that hasn't been taken over by too much speechifying. No shade at PorcFest. It's a great event, but it's a little too overdone of a production for my taste at this point.
Yeah, I was jealous. I saw a lot of cool pictures and a lot of cool people there. So yeah, definitely
Come next
on
year.
my bucket list.
Do an
plus-
episode of this live in front of a live audience at the event.
We did
Let's do it.
We did that
Appreciate
at LP Florida's convention. So
Yeah.
had Spike, Stephen Nikela, and Matt Johnson. That was a huge show. We got like 64,000 people online, or 67,000 or something. It was huge. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks to the contestants. Thanks to the chat. And we'll see you Tuesday at 8 p.m. Good night, y'all.